Close your eyes and imagine the air turning to ice. You're standing on a balcony of a jagged obsidian, looking down into a city carved from pure nightmare. There is no sun here, no stars, only the scent of fear and the weight of ancient, forgotten blood.
Oh, you almost gave me chills there. Most Fae and Prythian think the Hewn City is just a dark stain on the Night Court's map, a place for the wicked to play. But what if it's not just a city? What if Kier isn't just a cruel lord, but a jailer standing over a literal fragment of hell?
Tonight, we aren't just talking about the High Lord's court. We're tearing open the rifts between worlds. We're asking if the shadows Azrael sings, are they actually calling back to his home that he has never seen? And if the blood in Rhysand's veins is more demonic than divine.
The gates are opening, book babes. Grab your daggers and hold your breath.
Because tonight, the Court of Nightmares is calling. Hey, book babes, welcome back to Two Girls, One TBR, your favorite chaotic book besties, here to dive into the shadows where the power really hides. I'm Rebecca, still spiraling through the Night Court and all the delicious darkness. And you can find my latest obsession with wings, power, and pain over at Azraella Reads on Instagram.
And I'm Chelsea. If it's got Ancient Gods, Forbidden Realms, or a morally gray man with a secret, you know it's on my TBR. You can catch my current book Chaos over at Chelsea in Chapters. Tonight, we're heading straight into the Court of Nightmares, unraveling theories that connect it to hell itself, the gods, and the dark bloodlines that rule the Night Court.
Now, just before we get into our drink, are you excited about what we saw here the other day? That Sarah made her announcement.
So excited, but also, okay, I have to admit, I feel like she put an end to so many theories with her like nonchalance about all of it. Where are you guys getting this stuff from? Um and then obviously she put to rest like the whole Azrael, Bryce, and Hunt thing. So
Yes.
it's all very exciting. And now I just have like I'm reeling. What is gonna happen?
Are you reeling about Tamlin? Because she said she does not want to give him a redemption arc.
Okay, so I was trying to read into that as like she said that if she did give him one, she'd have to be really careful about it.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to end up with Elaine. I think that
No.
kind of put that to rest for me. Like that's out. It's not going to happen.
I don't think she's going to give him to Azrael either. I think Elaine's going to end up with someone we don't see coming. Just from what she was saying. And I don't know. Well, we know she said Nesta and Cassian are mates. They're all right. We know Feyre and Rhysand. She said that. And then, of course, she said Bryce and Hunt are. So we know those three couples are. But she made it very clear that Elaine is going through it.
Yeah.
And she's not just going to pick the man that's right there in front of her. So I'm not even sold 100%. Is it going to be Lucian? I'm not sold on it because she said sometimes it can make mistakes.
Yes, and that's the whole thing where it's like, okay, so she put a lot of the theories to rest, but then she kind of just opened it right back up with that comment. Like, okay, so Elaine's probably not going to pick Lucian. It's probably not going to happen.
And I still don't think it's going to be Azrael because it seems too obvious to me.
Yeah.
I think it's something. I think it's going to be somebody we don't see. Or is it going to be Eris? I mean, could it possibly be him? Because that's a very opposite attracts kind of deal thing. There's something, I don't know. Whatever she's writing and how she put it, because she said it's going to be in 4 parts over 3 books. So it's book 1 comes out October 27th. Super excited.
Did you notice though that that's the shorter one?
That is, but it's still 400 and some pages.
I know. Yes.
Or
but I'm like,
just
damn
around
it,
400.
I want the big chunk first, please.
Well, she said that's part 1. That's part 1. And then, January 12th, which is 3 months later or whatever. Then we're going to get the big thick one. And because if you go on Barnes Noble, or no, on Amazon, you can see the pages. You can see how thick they are.
Yeah.
The one that comes out in January is 900 and some pages, which she said that takes up part 2 and part 3, which she says basically
Right.
2 books into one book.
Yeah.
And then after, or I don't know, whenever she's going back to Montana, she's going to write part 4. But did you get a feeling that this is a series that's going to continue beyond these books? Or does it feel like this, whatever part 4 is going to be the end?
I get the feeling that it's going to be, you know how like Nesta and Cassian, they got their silver flames and that was like it. I think she is going to complete it, but I can see where it's going to lead into somebody else's story after that. So like if it's not going to be more, like maybe it's more. Maybe it's Asriel and we're getting it all wrong with thinking it's going to be Elaine. I don't know.
I don't know, because now I guess my other question is, who do you think this first book that's coming out in October, who do you think, whose point of view do you think it's going to be? Because she was very, she didn't like pinpoint who it was going to be, and nothing she
Yeah.
gave really pulled me in any direction of who I thought it was going to
Right.
be.
Now,
I think it
like,
might
I
be
want to say it's
surprising.
Elaine. Yeah, I want to say it's Elaine because I feel like she has a whole self-discovery thing that needs to happen in the wake of like everything that's happened to her so far. So I want to say it's her, but she could throw us all for a loop. I don't know.
Well, she did, the girl from the podcast there, she did mention the Dust Court, because I love that she asked her all these fun questions.
She did
and
ask
she
good
was,
questions. Not that we got answers, but
well, we did get one answer that shocked me, that sent me reeling, because I did not see it coming. Bryaxis is a she.
Being a girl?
All the time when I read it through, I took it as a man, like a male energy. But now I'm laughing because all kinds of people are doing art and stuff, and they're putting a bow on them.
The bow. Oh my gosh.
On her, I should say her.
It.
But I did not see that coming.
Me either. But it makes sense though too. Like I love all the ones where it's like scaring Cassian. Like of course it's a woman, or like, you know, like a female that scares Cassian to death.
I think it's hilarious. So I'm excited to see where this goes. Yeah. But I don't know. So we have many months to wait until October. Yes. October is quite a little ways off.
Yeah. And to continue theorizing.
Well, I have made a decision that this summer, before this all comes out, I'm going to read Throne of Glass. Yay! So, because I have ACOTAR done, or up to where it's at. Yeah. I have Crescent City under my belt now, and now I'm going to read Throne of Glass. But I figure maybe if I start in June is what I'm thinking, and by the time, that'll give me enough time to hopefully get through all of 8. Is it 7 or 8 books? Because the Assassin's Blade, I don't know, is that counted in the books?
Yeah, because it's a compilation of novellas, so it does count. But have you decided how you're going to read it?
No, I have to get the best advice from all of you to see what I should do.
See, I was thinking of doing a tandem. Okay, yes, I think anybody would tell you should tandem.
Yes.
Because I did not, and I wish I would have. But there's going to be a lot of discussion about when you should read Assassin's Blade. And we all die on different hills. So
what hill do you die on?
Who you love most. I die on the hill that you read it as Sarah J. Maas says you should read it, which is like 3rd.
Okay.
But there are so many people who will die on the hill that you should read it first. But to me, I think it spoils some of the mystery behind things.
Oh, okay.
So while it is more chronologically correct and you would get that background if you read it first, I kind of liked that I was like in the dark and then all of a sudden I finally learned all the things and how it all came together. So there's a lot of hills to die on.
Well, we have several months here to try to make a plan for me. But but I was telling my dear husband there, so that is my plan. Does he know what I'm talking about? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because I've been telling him about all this, I'm like, because I watched the whole 2-hour interview, and I'm like, don't talk to me. I had my earbuds in, and of course the man still tried. I'm like, it's live. I said, you can't. Well, she's not live, but it was, it was being presented live, and And he still doesn't know what I'm talking about. And he's like, who are you talking about? I'm like, it's the colorful books that are on my shelf. Because all the rest of the books are black, but those.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
and
think
what
that you
color?
should almost, when it comes to Throne of Glass, I almost want to say that you should open it up to a poll and see how many people vote one way or another, if you're willing to put your fate into, you know, other people's hands, or you just listen to me.
I might just listen to you. I don't know. We're going to see. Maybe I will do a poll and just see what the masses say, you know, all the people. And
whether
then,
you listen to them or not, that might be fun just to get a poll going.
And just see what people say. Now, this other question, since we are still talking about the book, comes out in October. What color do you think it's going to be?
Okay, so I saw somebody say that it goes like warm and then cold, warm, cold, warm, cold. Mm-hmm. So since Silver Flames was orange,
maybe it'll be a cool.
Do we have a purple cover yet?
No.
I'm going to say purple.
It goes like that red color. It's a reddish hue or coral color. And then it's green. Then it's pinky. It's like that pinky color. Then it's blue, then orange.
Yeah, I'm going to say purple. That's my guess.
Now, someone was saying yellow, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, unless she's going by the rainbow. I don't know, but I don't think that's even correct what the colors are. No. It's the way but rainbow goes. I don't know. Mm-mm. And then when you look at the art that Bloomsbury put out, it has like an ombre look behind the black. So, but is that giving a true hint to anything, or is it just it's the collection of all the colors from all the books?
Well, vibing. And remember, like, so I don't have the hardcovers other than my Acrylics ones. But the hardcovers, remember, they're all gray, and then they have
paperback.
Okay, yeah. So I have the paperbacks too, but if you see the hardcovers, they're gray, and then they have the color like overlaid, just the letter portion.
Oh,
so that's where it's like I can see why they put that kind of like grayish color up, and then they just used a rainbow overlay to kind of throw us all off. But I think it's going to be purple.
Do you think we're going to have some weird artwork on the end, like Silver Flames? Because none of the other ones did. People are very upset about that, by the way, still.
Really?
I have discovered they're mad because the first 4, all the ends are plain, and then Silver Flames comes out, and it has that pattern on the end because they want all their fronts to be the same.
All right, we're gonna have to put an overlay up when we put this out to show people what we're talking about. Because now I want to Google it and look at it because I didn't realize
paperback. That's paperback. It's the only one. Is Silver Flame, and it has that weird. Now the covers, there's always the different images, but on Silver Flames, on the end of the book, the spine, it wraps around it, and people are not happy about that. The ones that want for aesthetic.
Okay, but the hardcover ones, they do. They all have on their edges. They all have artwork on the sides. So I wonder if that was just like overlooked when they went to do the paperbacks. That
I don't know.
They were modeling it after their hardcovers, not realizing.
But you think
makes you kind of wonder.
Done it. To me, I don't care. To me, I'm indifferent to it. But there are some. The thing that we have learned here this year so far, with our conversations and Heather and I's conversations, that a lot of us are book snobs on cover snobs, and so there's obviously people that are spine snobs.
Yes,
I don't. But for me, it doesn't. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I'm
now, are you going to? And then notice also how only the hardcover is available for pre-order. I have the paperback set, so like I'm trying to think: do I buy the hardcover set, the old hardcover set, so that they all match? Is my Acrylics ones, are they going to get the licensing to be able to continue? And remember, mine is the one that has like the old rainbow where they did away with those and redid them. So it's a mess for my shelf. I'm so scared.
I don't know. I might, because those were the books that I started with. That was the first book when I went and started this journey all over again.
Yes.
That was the first ones. But I don't know. I might consider when the book comes out, because I've been getting a lot of hardbacks here in my recent purchases. I may do a whole set. I don't know, because it is my favorite out of every. I mean, I love I love all the books that I've read. I have of all the series that I've read, I've never been like, oh, I love everything.
Yeah.
It's up there.
Yeah.
I may switch and maybe go to a hardback set for them, but who knows how much that'll cost though.
I know.
You know?
Well, the ones right now, like, so I was just looking at it on Books A Million. Theirs is 102, which is like on sale right now for the 5.
Okay.
But then it makes me wonder also, like, if she's gonna keep writing ACOTAR books, why wouldn't I just wait to see, like, because that's all in one little case. So it's like, if you like keeping them in those box sets, do we wait for the new box set to come out before we make that purchase?
I don't know. Now, this
Yeah.
is something though. Now, I've seen people with Crescent City, the first book versus the next 2, they're different sizes. But when I ordered all 3 of mine, now mind you, mine are paperback though. Mine are all the same size. But I've seen that they're the first one was bigger and then the next 2, but they were paperback. But when I ordered the paperback, they're all the same size. And they're the same height as my ACOTAR set. I was looking at them because on my shelf. I have a Sarah shelf. But it's not going to, with all these other ones, this isn't going to fit on that shelf. I'm going to have to move her down to a different shelf, or maybe she's going to have to go to the top shelf. Because right now on the top of my bookcase, I have all my vampire books. I've noticed that seems to be a strong genre that I'm drawn to.
That you love, yes.
The majority across that upper shelf is that, and werewolves are up there. That's where I have my books organized interesting, but I am going to put a second shelf, because if you're in here, I'm on my desk. I have my big bookcase this way, but over here I'm going to put a tall, skinny bookcase. Because
nice.
I need more room.
I am running out of room on mine, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. If I'm going to buy new shelves, or if we're going to like build shelves. I don't know.
I have 130 some, almost 140 books on my bookcase right now.
Damn.
And I've been getting the Bonded by Thorns series. So and her last one that came out, it's 2, because Elizabeth Helen is 2 people. I discovered that. I thought it was 1 person, but it's not. It's 2.
Okay, that's
2
like
sisters.
Direbound, the whole Sable Sorensen. I did not know there were 2 of them, and it's
I didn't know that either.
Yes,
so she's 2 people too.
Yes, and they're friends, so it's so funny.
So that's 2 people. That's 2 people, and then the Ascended, Riftborn, all those ones. That's 2 people too. Interesting. Interesting things we learned today. But the last one there in that series that's come out, because they got reprinted, because I have all of them, and they're paperback, but they're the deluxe ones, and they have the sprayed edges. Book 4 is like this thick. So, and I think there's one coming out in April, and then there's the last 2 come out this fall. So where I have them sitting, they're not going to fit. So I'm going to have to move them. But I have plans. I told my husband, I said, every time, I love getting all my books, because every time when I want to read something new, I feel like I'm going to the bookstore right here on my shelf, because they're waiting for me.
Yes.
But I digress. So we're all super excited about Sarah. But now I'm going to tell us a little bit about tonight's poison and potion. Now, to get the full recipe, you have to go over on our Instagram, and you'll see our highlight bubbles, and you'll see where it says sips. That's where all our recipes are. The first one, which is our poison, it's the Nightmare's Cruelty. It's a dark, bitter, dangerously smooth cocktail for those who thrive in the court of nightmares. So basically, it's the only thing more bitter than the truth. So that's the alcohol one. Now, if you don't drink, alcohol, we do mocktails as well. This one's called the Library's Cat's Comfort. It's a cozy, shimmering mocktail inspired by the House of Wind's sentient magic. So magic you can hold, and shimmer you can taste. Also, again, remember, when you're doing anything with with your drinks that have the glitter, always make sure it says food grade. I just want people just to remember that. Don't just be putting glitter in your drinks. Make sure
we don't want to be
food grade.
Cutting your insides up with the glitter.
And you can get it on Amazon. You can buy, it's like, there's like 20 some different colors you can buy. They're on Amazon and they're like $7 a thing. So you can make any drink magical.
I love those. There was a girl who I did, I made a bunch of cups for her. Well, really, I just slapped some stickers on it for her. But for her bachelorette party, they did like a Harry Potter theme. And
Oh,
so they
fun.
had all the different houses for whatever girls like. So she had gotten like everybody's house that they're sorted
Yes.
into. And then all their drinks were like the shimmery, pretty color of their house. And it was really cute.
See, that's
Really
fun.
cute.
That's
Yeah.
fun. I would drink that on any kind of drink. It
Heck
wouldn't
yeah.
have to be necessarily, you know, an alcoholic drink. You can just feel like
I
you're
want to get
magical.
some for my coffees. Yeah, I just want to get like gold specks for my coffee every
You
time I
should
drink
go on,
it.
like I said, it's only like 7 something a
Yeah.
container of it. And I don't know how much you actually have to put in to make it very shimmery, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
But again, food grade. Just remember that.
Yes.
Don't just be putting glitter in your drinks, but make
Correct.
yourself magical with food grade. Okay, so now the first segment we're going to get into, we're going to just talk a little bit about the House of Wind again. Now fans believe that the house is actually an ancient being trapped in stone, or perhaps a world walker entity. Because there's something weird about the House of Wind.
Yeah.
I mean, now they said...
And notice how, remember, like Cassian didn't realize that it was sentient. And he was like taken aback when Nesta was like, oh yeah, it just like presented this stuff to me and whatever. And he was like, what the heck?
Because it didn't act like this with anyone else besides Nesta. And some people said, well, her power is what awoken it. But is it possible that because where her power came from the cauldron, is ancient and whatever, maybe it did wake up something,
also,
whatever is in there.
Or is it part of Bryaxis? Because Bryaxis lived down, you know, down in below the library. And so is part of Bryaxis's magic tied to the house? And we now know that Bryaxis is a female and was like totally in with their little book club nights with you know, the little House of Wind book club with not Bryce.
With Nesta.
What are their names? Gwen and Nesta and what's the last one? The other one's name? Emery.
Emery, yes.
And
they had the little Pegasus.
Yes, and they're like doing all their silly requests, and I see like there's part of me that thinks that Bryaxis, now that we know she's a female, that like maybe that was part of her power.
And it was her fun, and she liked being part of it. Because she would give...
and remember Nesta like accepting the house for its darkness, just like what was inside of her. And so and Bryaxis kind of protected them, her and Feyre, when they were down in the library.
See. Well, because we know Bryaxis is somewhere. She's not there at the House of Wind anymore, down in the library.
Yeah.
So the question is, we'll see, is the house still doing things for them now that Bryaxis is not there? But I still have a question.
True.
Where is Bryaxis? What is since we know she's a she, what is she doing? Because she said she is the embodiment of fear itself. That's what Sarah said. So what is she doing?
Yeah. And it also makes me wonder, when Bryaxis asked for a window and somebody to come down and talk to, was that before or after the house was sentient with Nesta? Or like started reaching out to Nesta? Was that before or after that?
Before. Because...
So...
Because, well, let's see here. When she asked for the window, that's when she made the bargain with... no, she made the bargain with Feyre, remember, to go and battle the King of Hybern. So Bryaxis has been gone. So the whole time in Silver Flames, Bryaxis wasn't there, and the house was sentient.
Oh, you're right.
So is it possible that... But see, this is where it leans a little bit.
Is
something
it possible
that I have a theory.
Maybe Bryaxis did come back and is part of the house?
I would think, though, they would know that Bryaxis was back. But see, this leads into one of the theories.
Okay.
Is it possible? Because Sarah does a lot of things intentional. when you go into the library, there is 7 levels, just the same as the 7 levels of hell. So
Yes.
now we know Bryaxis was down at the bottom on the 7th level in the darkness, and she loves scaring Cassian. Again, the embodiment of fear. Was Bryaxis possibly, was she a gatekeeper to the opening to hell or to a portal down there? Because now this is something, because Heather and I talked about this last time, and I didn't know exact, so I had to search a little bit. Now, let's see here. Now, on level 4, when Nesta was working there, cats were there. I didn't remember this until we were talking about it, then I had to look it back up.
Legit cats or what they thought was a cat?
They're cats, but they're like kind of like ghostly cats, because she describes them.
Right. Like a little shadow cat type thing.
Well, it said in chapter 22, this is of Silver Flames, there's a ginger cat. So she has to see the color of it. A shimmering, translucent, fans speculate the house mimics the familiar spirits. Could they possibly be spirits from hell? Because remember, Adias, he is the prince of the 4th level. Where do the cats appear in the library? The 4th level. He could now he would
and
appear
like in Crescent City,
and he appears as a cat to Bryce. So would it be a giant? Because we know he could still get into Midgard, even though all the gates were sealed. It's interesting, isn't it? Now,
that's a good one.
So he could still appear to Bryce, even though everything was sealed at Midgard. Now, there is no seal or anything in Prythian, so why couldn't he just come and hang out? So, I mean, could he appear as other kinds of cats, or could it be other people or beings like him from that 4th level? But they said Gray and, let's see here, but they said that that's it was to calm Nesta during her jaggedness, because she's a little jagged, Nesta. Yeah. I don't know. Now, this is with the library. They said the gray and calico cats lounging on mahogany. So they were laying on the table. So we see them in chapter 22 and chapter 56. So is that Adias? Is it somebody, people that work with Adias? I don't know. It's a thought.
Yeah, I like it.
But I still have the questions, though, down at the bottom with now Bryaxis. I mean, because we know the Prince of the Pit is Apollon. Is it Apollonian? Is that how we pronounce his name? Apollyon? Whatever his name is, he's the Prince of the Pit. So, I mean, that's the 7th level. That's what I'm saying, is Bryaxis a guard for that space.
Okay.
Because she leaves little tidbits for us.
But then during her interview, she makes it seem like, it just came to me and it just worked out that way. Yeah, right.
I don't know. She had a little smirk about her when she was saying things.
Yeah,
she just doesn't like people to. Well, it's not. I think she loves it that people have all these theories. Yeah. And I like how she was saying, "How do people think of this? Do they have string?" Again, we are. What's his name from Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Charlie. Yeah. When he has the strings.
Yeah,
we are that. But now, is the house borrowing, though, these spirits from another realm? So again, if there's a portal at the bottom and these things are happening, are they borrowing it? Some theorists believe the house is a direct portal in the basement of the library, the pits, and connected to the below, and that the cats are only benevolent things that can cross over. And then, of course, the most exciting thing is Bryaxis is a girl again.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
What's your thought?
I mean, yeah, I can see all that, and it's like you making that connection between Crescent City with the cat and then this ginger cat in the library. And I'm trying to rack my brain. I feel like there was something in Throne of Glass.
Was there
in cats? That there's a library section. There's a part where they're in a library, but it's Irene, I think it is, not that's in the library. In Tower of Dawn, and now it makes me want to go in and find that. And I don't remember if it was cats, but she felt something watching her.
Interesting.
So it makes me wonder if that's an extra added layer onto that I need to look up now.
It's interesting. We have
Mm-hmm.
to, well, just since I've read Crescent City, because
Yeah.
I did not realize how entangled these two series or
Mm-hmm.
all the series were. Maybe I'll see it more when I read Throne of Glass.
Yeah.
But I was amazed by how many. This is why I understand why people are like, "Ooh, Crescent City." Crescent City gives you so many answers. It gives you a lot
So
of
many.
questions. It gives you
Yeah.
questions, but
Yeah.
it gives you so many answers. So I don't know what's wrong with you people.
I
I don't
agree. I don't know
understand.
why people hate it, but I thought it was great.
Now,
Um
uh, now since we're talking like, all these different areas. Now that's the
mhm.
library, and we know it goes way underground.
Mhm.
Okay. And then we have the Court of Nightmares.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, Hewn City is a fragment of the abyss. All right,
Mhm.
this is the theory. We know it's obsidian. It has jagged edges, suffocating darkness. I'm going to go back to the other part with the sibling rivalry, so don't worry. But since we're
Mhm.
talking the pit, this
Yeah.
matches the description of the palace of the abyss in hell. Now,
Mhm.
I don't remember that being mentioned in Crescent City, but maybe it was. But do
Mhm.
they mention that in Throne of Glass? The palace of the abyss?
I don't remember, to be honest with
But
you.
maybe it was mentioned, or maybe it was
It
mentioned in
could have been.
ACOTAR.
Yeah. And while you were reading that, I was looking up though, in Tower of Dawn, the whole thing with the cats.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure there were cats.
there was
In the
cats.
it's the Torre Sesame, or I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's Torre
Okay.
Cesme in Tower of Dawn, and I think there were cats in the library, and they were
Oh,
called bast
interesting.
cats, female
Hmm.
cats that guard the library,
Hmm.
and they
Isn't
have
that
a warning bell
interesting?
and everything. Yeah, and I remember that now. Now that we said the whole cat thing, and I don't know why I didn't ever put that together before. I know
It's
we've moved on,
interesting,
but
isn't it?
I had to look that up. Yeah. Hmm.
But it's interesting. But now,
Yeah.
since we're talking like the Court of Nightmares, now
Yeah.
I find the Court of Nightmares very interesting. One, why
Hmm.
is it underground? And who are these
Yeah.
people that live there? Because now we see like up in the Night Court,
Hmm.
people are, they have like Rita's, they have all these like wonderful places. Seems like people are very happy,
Yeah. In
and
Valaris.
that
Yeah.
in Valaris and that kind of
Yeah.
thing. And then you have this, and it's very dark.
Well, and
I
do they ever, like, the people that live there, do
I don't
they
think they
like it?
leave.
Yeah, like, do
I
they
don't think
like
they
it down
leave.
there?
See, and this is where I think there is a very strong possibility that where the Court of Nightmares is, I think it is
Mhm.
possibly a level of hell.
Yeah.
Reason
But
being,
does Reese know that? Does Reese know that?
yes, I think he absolutely knows.
And it's a
I
secret being kept from all of us?
Because I think he's part of it.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Because now
Yeah.
remember when they were down there and they were talking to Kier, her father, and
Mhm.
he was talking about this person that's like nobility down there, and the guy's name was Thanos. Now we
Right.
know Sarah does
Or
not do
is it Thanos, or is it Thanatos?
Thanos, Thanatos.
Than
It's something like
I
that.
can't remember.
You know
Yeah.
who he
Okay.
is, but you know who I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Now they
Yeah.
mention him. Bryce mentions him in
Mhm.
Crescent City.
Mhm.
Now, as we know in Crescent City, he is one of the princes of hell. Now,
Correct.
I do not think that she's going to just name some random noble guy in the Court of
Mhm.
Nightmares and then have it be a predominant or, a big thing in Crescent City. Even though we
Right.
don't get to meet him,
Right.
but he is mentioned.
Um, because he says, well, Kier says Thanatos, or whatever his name
Yeah.
is having trouble with his daughter again,
Oh,
right? And
and I'd have a
then,
theory who she is too. Because you
and
weren't
who do you
here.
think that is?
I think it's Fury from Crescent
Okay, yeah,
City.
I think I did think I heard you guys talk about that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I agree. I think that's a good one, and especially because Fury is so like stealthy, she is very night courtish.
Yes.
Um,
Because when they were talking about him, when Kier talks about him, this guy, that this noble, remember, he was having trouble with his daughter, and he said she was an assassin. What is Fury? And if you look in mythology, the Furies do go with Thanos. That is part of it. So I think we figured something out. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's my theory.
So.
So now, do we think that possibly that Kier is, I don't think he's necessarily a prince of hell. I don't think that, but I do think his bloodline is tied to it.
Yeah, there's something with Kier, or he's
well, he
it's like
operates
almost
on
like he's and he's so it is Thanatos. It's Thanatos in one of the seven princes of hell, specifically known as the Prince of the Ravine.
Okay. Well, what is a ravine?
And
it's a dip. Where is the Court of Nightmares? It's I know it's underneath a mountain, but it's a ravine.
Yeah. So if he resides in the Hewn City, also in Court of Thorns and Roses, or in ACOTAR, let's see. Yeah. He's the 4th level of hell. So God of Death. I lost my thought.
It's interesting.
Where were we at with that?
Well, we were talking about Kier operates on fear.
Yeah. So what does he have to do? Like, what is he a prince of hell? Is Kier a prince of hell and we don't know it?
I don't know if he's necessarily a prince of hell, but I do think he possibly could be a demon. Just because he looks fey, he could be a mix of whatever, because there's something
but
more
then, like,
to his
why
blood.
does he have so much pool under the mountain? Because he's kind of or not under the mountain, in the
Hewn
Court
of Nightmares.
Why is he a no? Like, I think that he's if it's Lord Thanatos, is he also Lord Kier? And we just haven't heard him referred to as such, because he seems to have a lot of pool down there.
Well, unless he is like, maybe he's in charge, or like wherever there's this portal or whatever, because like we know his family had the Ouroboros for 1,000 years. Like, why does he have it? Why did why does their family have all this stuff? Yeah. I don't know. Is he possibly, like, I don't want to call him a guardian because he's very evil, but maybe he guards whatever is there.
Yeah. So we only know 3 of the key princes identified in Crescent City.
Correct.
Adis, or however you say it, Prince of the Chasm, Thanatos, the Prince of Souls and Death, and then Apollyon, Prince of the Pit.
Correct.
So she could be keeping Kier's, like, true identity and his.
But I think if he was a prince of hell, I think he would put that over top of Rhysand. He would pull the card like, I'm more powerful than you. So, but we can tell that Rhysand is more powerful than Kier. But then that leads me into that I think that Rhysand is a little bit more than what he presents himself as. I do not think he's just fey.
So do you think Rhys is more Vogue, or do you think that Rhys is also a prince of hell and we don't know it?
I think he's a prince of hell. Yeah. I think it's or his lineage, he's tied to it. Yes.
Yeah.
Because now when you look at, because we have discussed that every one of the High Lords all change into some form of animal. Yeah. Why does Rhysand turn into almost like a gargoyle looking thing? That's not a normal animal. That he appears almost as what you would imagine as something demonic. So I think he's that. Now, I don't know. There's something there, and then you throw in more. Take her, okay?
Yeah.
What is going on with her? Because she has the power of truth. What does that mean? I still don't understand. What does that mean? What do you think that means?
So I feel like I saw a theory. The whole thing where, like, Feyre thought that the Fae could only speak the truth in the beginning and that they couldn't lie.
Yes.
It makes me wonder if more, like her power of truth is also her curse, that she can't tell a lie, and that's why she like withdraws information. Like she hasn't told anybody about herself,
Well, now this is a theory. They say in
because
the
she
court.
couldn't, because she wouldn't be able to lie about it. She can only tell the truth.
I think it's more that she can make people withhold the truth. She has the power because I don't think she's light side. You
Oh,
know how like in the whole Star Wars world, there's the light side,
yeah,
the dark side. I think
yeah.
she leans dark side. I mean, she does come from Kier. You have to remember this.
So, and so, like with Eris, do you think that she cursed him in a way, or she was able to put a
I think
spell on him in a
yes,
way where he can't tell people what really happened?
yes, because he keeps telling them that is for her to tell you.
And you don't
And
think that she is also like under that, where like
no,
you think she can still lie?
oh, I think Moore is a lot darker than we think because she comes
Okay.
across as this very bubbly, very like, oh, party type kind of person. But I think
Yeah.
there's more layers underneath her. Now, if
Yeah.
in the Court of Nightmares, if the Court of Nightmares is hell, then
Uh-huh.
Moore's power of truth could be the ultimate weapon used against it, which maybe she will force them to be able to reveal who they are. But this is why Kier fears her, because we know her dad fears Moore because he might say nasty stuff to her, but
Uh-huh.
when he did that awful thing with her where he took her and nailed the note to her and left her in autumn court.
Uh-huh.
But there's something there. He tried to break her, but he fears her now because you could tell, like, even in their meetings and he would say stuff, he wouldn't
Yeah.
cross about. I mean, is it that it's his fear of Rhysand's
That's
retaliation to him?
I was
But
gonna say, I don't think that he was afraid of her prior to Rhys becoming the High Lord, but once obviously Rhys got into the position that he was in, that he has the power to shut Kier down, and that's why he's afraid of more now because of
I
Rhys's
I want to
influence.
still and see, and I have to. I still want to know, and I want Sarah to explain how is Moore and how is Rhys? How are they actually related? Because remember, she would not reveal what Rhysand's
They're
last name is.
cousins.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what they say.
Um, but it also makes me wonder because Moore is also kind of afraid of her father too. So I feel like, like she gets all anxious around him, or like whenever she has to deal with him. And so I feel like there's a little bit of a balanced scale now. Like I don't think that she
Maybe.
has so much. I don't think that she has like so much over him other than
Well,
what
maybe.
Reese.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe in the next books, maybe she will be the only thing that can shine a light in the realm that is made of eternal lies or infernal lies, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't. There's something there. Now,
Yeah.
now since we were talking, like, now that's that I'm gonna die on the hill. I think that's it's something to do with hell. I think
Mhm.
I think I can say that the Court of Nightmares is a level of hell. I think
Mhm.
Thanos or Thanatos, whatever his name is, he is there,
Thanatos. Yeah.
and I think that's his realm, and I think we're gonna see Fury. Because I think
Yeah.
Fury, um, she did not answer a whole lot of questions to Bryce,
Mhm.
because she's very aloof that way, and she was
Yeah.
always gone. Like, where was she? She was like, oh, she's over on the continent. Was she really?
Mhm. Well, and
Because
that
they
makes me
couldn't.
wonder too, like, she can probably
She might
portal,
world
like,
walk.
she probably knows where yeah, she might know where the gates or the portals, whatever we wanna call them,
What
are.
is it? It's not a weak spot. That's not what I want to call it. I can't remember what they called it. Because remember
Um,
when Bryce
they
said,
call it in ACOTAR, they call it a door, remember, like, all the different places through the mountain, under the mountain?
but there's misty places, and when you're talking Crescent
Yes.
City, I can't remember what they call
Yes.
it, but the misty places.
Aval
That was the island.
the
That was
island,
that
and it's
place.
misty.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then you go into Prythian,
Uh-huh.
where Dragon
The
or
prison.
Dragon or whatever his name is, the prison's a misty place. That place
Yeah.
where those, is it Murian or whatever her name was, and
Oh, yeah.
Dagon or whatever his name was. Those two,
Miriam and Draken. Yeah.
Draken, that was his name. That was a
Yeah.
misty place. There's
Yeah.
several misty places in the spring court, and also in that middle section where Strega was, the weaver. Those are all misty spots. I mean, so do I think that Fury could be a world walker? I think it's very possible. Or because if she is part of she could be a princess of hell. Would that? So I don't think necessarily, because we know Aedeas there, he can walk into Midgard as a cat, even though Bryce summoned him and did that kind of stuff because she forced him to appear above her. But do I think Fury could do it? Absolutely. So I think that is his daughter.
Remember the Bone Quarter is
Yes.
Misty.
See, it's Misty.
Yeah, and that's the like where people go to die, basically, right? It's like
their souls are trapped there.
Souls,
we found out that they were
there's some that
aged.
are. There's some that are, and there's some that aren't. There's like people that are still alive on the Bone Quarter, and then there's people that aren't.
Well, there's there was the guy that was in charge of the Bone Quarter, but he was something that he wasn't Asteri, but he worked for the Asteri.
Because their like power would get because their power would get like fed to the Asteri.
So their souls would all go to the Asteri, and then
that was confusing for me. I'll be honest. The Bone Quarter.
The Bone Quarter is where the souls went. Like, person would die, they take their body, I guess, because their soul was still trapped in the body. But like, it's not like how we think, like when someone dies and their spirit immediately leaves them. This, so
it's almost like a purgatory almost.
I guess, yeah, it would be like a purgatory. And then
kind of
that guy, the guy that was in charge of the Bone Quarter, I can't remember his name, whatever his name was. And then he would feed off like the remnants of those people's soul. And I think this is where we're going to see a tie into Prythian, because when Starfall was happening, that was the souls. I think, and Rhysand kept saying they were getting less and less souls. So I think the souls from Midgard, when they were coming home, because all those people, their home world was Prythian, it's because the Asteri was eating them.
Yeah.
I don't think they could come back.
Yeah.
There's.
Yeah. And then remember all the stuff about the Valbaran Fae, Valbara. And then there's Pangera in Midgard. It's like there's so many different continents and places. It's like she could do so many things.
Now see, now that also ties into, like, now there's the Autumn King, Bryce's dad. Now, I do believe he's related. He is part of the Fae that came from the Autumn Court. But remember, the Autumn Court did not exist when they all went to Midgard. Because remember, Thea, the mother, though she was the High Lady, and her husband, Finian, that's how I'm going to pronounce his name. I think it's something like that. He was the High King. Then she betrayed him with his general, killed him in the misty spot there in the middle. That's where she killed him. They took his sword, which was the star sword that Rune ended up with, because
in Avalon.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's one of those places.
Yeah.
So none of those courts existed until after they left Midgard, her and whatever. And then Selene came back, the daughter. That's the one that was able to come, and then they sealed the thing. Helena stayed in Midgard. She pushed her through. Remember, that sister stayed there, and that's where Rune's supposed starborn powers came from. And then Selene was the one in Prythian. Now, you have to realize, what kind of badass was Selene? Because she's the one who sealed up the entire palace, the Dawn Court Palace, made it into the prison of Prythian, and she hunted all the Asteri's pets and whatnot and put them in the prison. Now, we know she took and she put the Bone Carver in there. Was the Bone Carver, was he a pet of the Asteri? Or is he a death god? Because we refer to him as a death god. Or was he from somewhere else, like with the Asteri? Or are they one of the Asteri?
But then with the Bone Carver, we've also made the attachment to Throne of Glass, where Kale talks about
Is it the God of Truth or
The God
something
of
like that?
Truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's like, whatever happened to that guy?
Because he did something with Bones and Throne of Glass, correct? The God
Yeah.
of Truth.
Yeah.
So I mean, because at first we thought the Bone Carver was trapped in prison by Strega and Koshi, but the
But he
Weaver.
just wanted to stay away from them.
Now, this is something I found, and I didn't remember this. Did you know the Weaver ate their youngest sibling? Fans think this gave her power to weave life and death, but it also made her a target for the ancient Fae warrior who finally bound her, which I believe was Selene. Because Selene
What
bound
page
all
is
these.
that from?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up and see where that's at.
Yeah, that makes me wonder if that's just one of those like crack theories that somebody just made up, or if that's because I do
Well,
not remember that being talked about in the book at all.
now there's the fallen prince theory. Are they actually
Mm-hmm.
princes of hell? Apollonian or Apollyon, however you pronounce his name, Crescent City.
Yeah.
He mentions brothers. Theorists think that possibly that the Bone Carver is a failed or too soft prince who preferred to watch the world rather than rule it. The prison fans also
Which
believe,
makes sense why he wants to be in the prison. That would make sense. But
and
he didn't
fans
want anything to do with it.
and fans believe that the prison isn't actually a building, but a crashed Asteri ship or a gateway to hell and is stone locked. Now we do know that Selene, after she came
Uh-huh.
back, again, I said, what kind of badass woman is she? And
Uh-huh.
what kind of powers did she have? That she sealed up the throne room, because she mentions that when you're listening to Bryce or she's talking to Bryce through that, that recorded history, she said she sealed the throne room and then she sealed all these things in the walls. Now we know Cassian, and then they talk about there's all kinds of things within the walls of the prison. What did she trap in there? That is my question. Now, remember,
Yeah.
now, I don't
Or
know
that like
when
basically
Selene
that
died.
like this so basically like the stone has ears, right? Like that
Yeah,
was kind of like like don't talk about this in there because like it can hear what you're saying, which kind of reminds me of the House of Wind too though, because it's kind of
sentient.
like yeah, so what kind of old magic is inhibiting these locations?
Well, this is a question I have for you. Now, we know that Amryn was
Uh-huh.
trapped and imprisoned in the prison. She was a
Got
prisoner.
herself out
Did
somehow. Yeah.
did Selene, is she the one that imprisoned her? Now, I always kept thinking that Amryn is kind of like a fallen angel kind of thing. Like she was
Mhm.
like
Cuz she
maybe like a
describes
death
herself
angel.
as one. Yeah.
And she came through a rip or a rift, is what she said.
Uh-huh.
Those were her words.
Yeah.
But my question is, who bound her that was strong enough to put her in the prison? Was it Selene? We know she was in there for a long time, but we know she had been out of the prison for
Mhm.
1,000 years or whatever, because
Yeah.
I, I don't know. Who is Amryn? Who is she? I
Yeah.
know they said all her powers left her when she fell in the cauldron. I don't believe that at all. Well, she doesn't drink blood anymore, but is she
Mhm.
that she was drinking blood? Is there anyone else in any of Sarah's across her books, anybody else that drinks blood?
Not that I can think of other than just that like the Asteri, you know how they take people's power, but wasn't
That's not
blood.
blood.
Yeah, it's not blood. So it's a
It's
good
weird.
question.
Now it
Yeah.
says
Or
she
though
mentioned.
maybe what if because like the Asteri take the power, right? So maybe
Mhm.
if Amryn was like them, but she refuses to take other people's power. Maybe that was like her vegetarian diet was like drinking the blood of animals instead. And that's
Well,
what kept her life force going instead of,
I mean that is very possible.
yeah.
I mean, she does mention, but I have to look and see where it's at. This is just in the
Uh-huh.
my notes I wrote down. Is that her
Uh-huh.
father was a wrathful god?
Yeah.
Who was he? See, this I have so many.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is the theory. Is she possibly a rogue Asteri, like you were saying? Could
Uh-huh.
she be, or is she an angel
Yeah.
like Hunt and all of them? Now, of course, we know a lot more
Yeah.
about. I know more about Hunt now. He is an angel, but yet he's part of the Princes of Hell,
Yeah.
and it's weird too
Um,
because he has three dads. in essence.
Yeah. And Amren, she also makes me wonder if she was part of the gods that Aelin in Throne of Glass like sealed out of their realm, because Aelin did that, which I
Okay.
hate spoiling for you,
I
but
won't
it
know.
makes
I
me
probably won't.
wonder. I mean, it's not a huge spoiler, like it's just kind of
Mhm.
all, it all kind
Yeah,
of makes sense when you think about all of them put together. But Aelin does like basically trap or like seal some of the gods away from
from where they're
their
at.
realm, and so it makes me wonder if that's where they're from.
That's very possible. Because we know
Yeah.
Amryn, because all this stuff that happened with Midgard and all those kind of things we know happened
Hmm.
15,000 years ago. We do know the
Right.
Asteri were traveling across the universe, basically taking
Hmm.
planets and finding them. So, I mean,
Yeah.
could it be all aligned? Now,
Yeah.
as I was saying, but like, is Amryn an Asteri who rebelled, or is she a high-ranking being from Hell who escaped through the
Hmm.
rift? What if she is from Hell? Because
Yeah.
again, she does. We know she took a human form.
Hmm.
My question is, how did she take that human form, and whose body is Amryn living in? Is my question.
Yeah. I remember her talking about that, but
Because that's how she escaped the prison. Because
yeah.
it did not recognize her.
Yeah.
So she took somebody's body. So I'm thinking
Yeah.
whoever form she is in is somebody else that was in,
Yeah.
or maybe was a
See,
guard in the
Amryn,
prison.
I kind of like that Amryn's like her whole own being, because remember like when Feyre does the unbinding spell in ACOTAR, and it says she rained down fire and brimstone, and it just makes you think of like the biblical angels, like with the whole fire and
Yeah,
brimstone thing. And so that's what makes me think that she's like a completely separate, like above all these
maybe
like gods and princes of hell and this and that, like she's just from what started
she's
it all, like from the mother,
that's possible.
maybe. Yeah.
I mean it is possible.
Hmm.
I don't know. I also have. I mean, again, maybe we'll have answers in the new books.
And
Maybe
then there
she
was
will answer some of these.
something, remember, it said that it looked like the girl from, is it the Dawn Court or wherever, when Feyre was like, she sees the female, she's like the master tinkerer, and she
Hmm.
says she looks like Amryn almost, or like where Amryn modeled herself after.
Oh,
I'm trying to find my notes on that because I
was
remember
that
talking
Daycourt?
about it once.
Wasn't
Maybe
that
Daycourt.
Daycourt?
Yeah,
It's where
I
Decent is,
keep
I
saying
think.
I keep saying Dawn Court, but yeah.
Yeah, because it's
I
not.
have that somewhere.
Wait, which one? What is Helian's? Is Helian Daycourt?
He's Daycourt.
And then there's
Um,
Dawn. Dawn is Decent.
yeah.
And
I'm
then
trying to
there's
find my
Dusk.
notes.
Dusk is the one that the prison is.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the notes where, remember when they have the meeting with all the high lords, and
Yes.
they talk about the Faebane, and I'm trying to remember where that is.
Oh, see, that's interesting.
If
Because
that's
that's when,
in,
because isn't that during that time that's when Feyre realizes that Helion is Lucian's father. That's when she put those
yes.
together, and Rhys is like, shh, we don't talk about
Yes.
that. Like, my
Yeah.
question is, why do we not talk about this, Rhys?
Right?
Again, Rhys has a
Well,
lot
how
of
is it that
secrets.
all these old people just like, and it always drives me crazy about like how like Reese didn't know anything about Moore and Asriel's and Cassian's relationship. And she's like, why is nobody talking about this stuff? Like, why is everything so hush hush?
I will die on this hill as well. I do, even as much as I love Rhys, but I
Hmm.
think he has a tremendous amount of secrets that we are yet
Yes.
to find out, because he is not
Yeah.
the High Lord of the Night Court for nothing.
Right.
So do I think he's all sweet and sunshine and roses? Absolutely not. But I think he's sweet to Feyre because he loves her, but you see how much
Right.
he's lied to her. So how
Yeah.
much is he hiding from all of us,
Yeah.
and all the people?
And let's be real. Look at what he did under Amarantha's reign.
He did.
Um, so
He
he
and
is
he.
capable of terrible things.
Oh yeah, he's definitely not. He's not a golden retriever. Definitely not. He is definitely
Yeah.
very morally gray. He will do what it takes to get his agenda done. And do I think he will continue? He's continuing to do that? Absolutely. I mean, just with things that are happening in Hewn City, that he keeps them under control. I'm telling you, I still think that he definitely has he's something with the princes of hell. Now, but now you take in Rhysand and you take in Azriel. I do believe that Azriel is a prince of hell. I believe that him and Rhys are related in that sense. Now, remember when Bryce said, when she's running from the Asteri, the Bright Hand, wasn't that his name? The Bright Hand, because they pretended to be stars. The Asteri, they're not really stars. They just like to pretend to be. And she was running from him, and she said, "Take me to the Prince of Hell." And when the portal opened, she's in the backyard of the river house next to the river. And who stands before her, who, of course, I'm sure they've seen it happen, it's Azriel. And then Rhys was right there. Because, I mean, they're both there. It could be either one of them.
Nobody can convince me that Azriel is not a prince of hell. I think that was very intentional that she ended up with Azriel. Like, it's just...
Yes. Because we know now that we know the two weapons, of course, they were singing to each other. Because she had the star sword, and they called it a different name. I forget what they called it. They called it something began with a G, is what Azriel referred to it as. And she had it, and then his truth teller, those two weapons together, they were drawn to each other because they were made by the Asteri, which is interesting enough. So
is that what they were? They were made by the Asteri, or was it
the Asteri made them? They made them. They made the mask. They made the harp. They were all things from the Asteri. Do you remember you have to read Crescent City 3 again, because Celine explains it all. And
so you've read that much more recently than I have.
And remember the Asteri that was underneath the prison that was in the glass sarcophagus, because she was talking about that she made all those things, she said, because she was like a blacksmith or whatever. Now there is another weapon. Remember, what's her name threw it out into the ocean, and I don't remember who it was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where did that go?
Amarantha. Yeah.
She threw it out there, like, where did that go? And we know that was made by the Asteri.
Yeah, I have all those names written down somewhere in here.
The Asteri, there's a lot, again, that we don't know. So, now, my thought in this also is, now you take Azriel, because we love our Azriel with his wide wingspan, but I do think he is a prince of hell. I think, because we don't know much about his dad, except that we knew he was quote-unquote nobility. He was an Illyrian nobility, supposedly. Or nobility. I don't know if it ever specified that he was Illyrian or not, but we know, I'm assuming his mother was Illyrian. And I think she's at Rose Hall. That's what I believe with her.
Rose Hall, yes.
Now, for some reason, she had him. I don't know why she wasn't allowed to keep her child, because the dad comes in, he takes Azriel, he locks him in a windowless room for 11 years. And then his stepmother and his stepbrothers, or his half-brothers, I should say, they tortured him and burnt him with oils. That's why he has the scars all over his hands. So, I mean, doesn't that seem like something a demonic people would do?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Because it doesn't, I mean, the Illyrians are very cruel. They're very whatever. But this seems to be a step more. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it wasn't the dad. He wasn't the one torturing him. He's just the one that locked him in there. And that's why he has these shadows, because they were the only thing that he could talk to, were his shadows. What are these shadows? It's not, I mean, Rhys has shadows and stuff or something, but it's not the same.
No,
it's not the same.
Yeah, his is night.
His is night.
Yes.
His is night. And then his are, so this is again where I think that Rhysand and Azriel, I think they are related.
Yeah. But remember, I think I also said that I think that whatever Hunt is, like, remember, because he was kind of like made.
He's a test tube baby of the Princes of Hell.
And
basically.
So is Azriel also something like that, in a way? Like, did he get And is that why, like, his father treats him so badly and not the other sons that he has? Because, like, Asriel was a test tube in his mother?
Well, Azrael, well, they said they tried to burn the shadows out of him. That's why they poured the oil on him.
So it makes me that's what makes me wonder if he was like a test tube baby like Hunt,
He could be,
and the father wasn't actually his father, and that's why he was treated so poorly
because he would be,
by him and his brothers.
he would be like Hunt refers to the guy that was his father in Midgard. He
Right.
referred to him just as his sire. You know what I mean? Because he
Yes.
was,
Yeah.
but was he really his sire, or did he was a placeholder?
Right.
So he could be,
Yeah.
like that weird. Well, Hunt referred to his own self as a test tube baby. That's what he calls
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah, he had like a whole identity crisis over it.
Well, I mean, think about it.
So
You find out all of a sudden that the two princes of hell, they're not just one, but two of them are your father because they did something, because it's Apollonian or or whatever his name is.
Apollyon.
Apollyon, because then it
I
makes
like
me think
Apollonian.
of It makes me think of Apollyon. When you say Apollyon, it makes me think of Napoleon Bonaparte. You know, the French
Napoleon,
guy.
Yeah.
Napoleon, yes, that's what it always makes me think of. But I call him Apollonian, and then Aeneas is what I call the one that from the forest. So those are his fathers, and I like how they were real odd about trying to explain it to him. Though they're like, "Oh, our son has come back," and then he had his mother, which she was an angel. We do know that for Hunt. So I mean, like you're saying, I mean, is it a giant?
Or what do they call them? What do they call them again? They're not an archangel. Archangel.
She wasn't an archangel. She was.
But Hunt wasn't either. But he worked for the archangel.
Yeah, because they made him specifically to be a battery for Bryce. So he was actually made for a specific reason, and that, I guess maybe that is what it has made it that they are mates. My favorite thing in there is when their final moment, when they had their moment together, and she was so worked up, she teleported them. I love that. I don't know. I have so many questions, because why does Cassian, why does Azrael, why do both of them, why do they have to wear siphons? No one else has to wear siphons. None of the other Illyrians. Do you ever hear anything about them ever saying that? It's just those two. But why? I don't know. Maybe Cassian is possible. Maybe all three of them, the reason why they all bonded together. Maybe they are all descendants of hell. Even though I do believe, we know now that Rhys is keyed to the Starborn. We do know he's Starborn. He has, which I guess maybe his Starborn powers is his night powers, and they just call it night in Prythian but it's the same thing. But I do have a theory, though. At first I was thinking possibly could Rune, my lovely Rune Dannon that I love so much, could he possibly been the child of Rhysand? Because remember, when Bryce sees him, she thinks it's Rune. All right, so now this is my other theory, and I said this
I feel like Sarah J. Maas would like scream if she heard that.
But now, is it very possible that Rune, because we do get to meet his mother. Did you read the bonus chapter where he talks to his mother?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, because he talks to his mother, and she looks just like him. She looks as young as him, even though she's much older than him. Like she's like 200 years old or whatever. Supposedly she was picked. She came from the Misty Island, remember? The Misty place.
Avalon,
and she was picked.
No?
It's something like that. And to be with the Autumn King to produce an heir.
Right.
And she reminds me of someone that has like Stockholm syndrome kind of deal. Because no matter how cruel he was to her, she still is very, like, I'm so happy I was able to help him. I feel it was my honor to produce an heir. I think that she is Rhysand's sister. And Rune is her child. And that's why Rune looks so much like Rhys, because he's his uncle. And I don't think the Autumn King is his father. as well.
Because we think that Tamlin glamored their heads that were sent down the river and that it wasn't actually them.
Well, at least not her. Because we always think of Rhysand's sister as being a little girl. A lot of times in my mind, I kept thinking of her as a younger thing, but
Yeah.
I think maybe now she was like maybe a late teenager, early 20s kind of age.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I see
say,
her as being grown up.
and I think she possibly was with Tamlin, because remember, Tamlin
Or that
has a lot of anger.
Tamlin maybe helped smuggle them out and then he glamored
Well, I think
the
there's a
head that was
reason
sent
why
down.
there is a pool of moonlight in Springcourt.
The starlight,
Because,
yeah.
yeah, the Starlight one, whatever it is. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm talking about. What if that
Yeah.
is a portal?
Huh.
Just because him and
Yeah,
Feyre
maybe.
were in there naked and they were in there swimming, that doesn't mean that it couldn't pour. Because remember, there's
Yeah.
misty spots all
Yeah.
over Springcourt. Why?
Yeah.
So if he knew, now remember, all this time ago, before all this happened, Tamlin,
Uh-huh.
let's see here. Tamlin was never meant to have the throne. Because
Mm-hmm.
remember, he was the youngest of 3 brothers.
Right.
His brothers, Rhysand went in, or Rhysand's father killed Tamlin's brothers. Then Rhysand was like, what are you doing? He said to his dad, because he wasn't meant to kill Tamlin's mother, but to kill his father. But then he ended up killing both of them. And then when Tamlin went there, that's when he saw what had happened and he killed Rhysand's father.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is it a giant leap? Because I don't think Rhysand wanted to kill, or not Rhysand, I don't think Tamlin wanted to kill Rhysand's family. It seems like they were friends before all this happened. So would it be a giant...
He and Rhys were, yeah.
So would it be a giant leap to think that Tamlin wouldn't have known Rhys's sister and maybe had a relationship and they had Rune together? And Rune's their baby. Do you think it's possible?
Oh, like Tamlin and
Rhysand's sister.
Oh,
and then
I
that's
don't
why
know.
and that's why
I
he
don't
pushed
think
her through the
so.
portal, and then she had him, because I do not think the Autumn King I don't think the Autumn King is Rune's father, because Rune doesn't have fire. He doesn't have fire power.
I don't think that Tamlin was capable of keeping that a secret. He was too petty. I think that he's too petty to have been able to keep that under wraps.
Oh, that's very possible, unless it was just that was his one true love. Because, because by the time when Feyre came, it was different, because he couldn't understand love. But I don't know. But who is Rune? We know who his mother is. We know he looks like his mother.
I think he is, but I think he and Bryce actually are half siblings. So I don't think they're not actually half siblings, because the only way for them to be half siblings is to have the same dad.
Well, it's possible. Well, we know the Autumn King, though, is related, but he's related to all the people that are over on that island. So he would still be related, but I don't know if they are true half siblings. Because why doesn't Rune have any fire abilities? He doesn't. There's a reason why the Autumn King was so cruel to him, because remember, he was burning
Bryce doesn't have fire, though. She just has that like really bright light.
But she has his red hair. She looks like him.
Yeah.
Everything.
But she doesn't have fire power either. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, she has light. Well, her starborn power came out that way. It came out as light. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But why does Rune look so much like Rhysand? Answer that. How else would it be? I mean,
know.
I just don't.
Because we could say the same thing with Throne of Glass with Dorian. So, I mean, I feel like they all might be descendants of the Fae before them. Yeah, because Dorian also, like, just because they haven't had a crossover with him yet doesn't mean he didn't look exactly like them, because he does too when he's described that way.
Well,
the dark hair, the eyes.
Well, people said, like Reese and Room. Now, this is the thing. They said the reason why they look identical is because they share the Starborn gene. Fans believe that the Night Court Royal are descendant of the Starborn who stayed behind. Now, we do know that Selene, she does make the statement that she married a High Lord's son. So I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. And then, of course, Nesta also implies that the harp she played, the strings of reality. Fans believe that this episode's theories are the key to understanding how the realms will merge in the next book. So do you think that...
Well, the harp is some crazy shit, because that thing, I remember I wrote it down, and it's towards the end, thank goodness, so I can find it easier. I found the Amryn thing, by the way. She does look like the Master Tinkerer and she's in the Dawn Court, but she came from Geon. And so it makes you question what's going on at Geon and why Amryn picked that body to look like. But let's see here. So So remember the priestess that is doing the research on the 26 realms, or that she thinks there's 11 worlds and some think up to 26. Like, it actually says that. So Meryl researches a lot of things, existing realms on top of each other without even knowing it, living in the same space, but separated by time. Some philosophers believe there are 11 worlds like that. Some think 26, the last being time itself. And then there's the strings on the harp.
And that's the priestess that's in the House of Wind library. That's the one that's crabby.
Meryl.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, there's so much to unpack. There's so much to unpack. And hopefully, like, over between now and October, we'll get at least we try to do at least one of these ACOTAR mini series episodes a month with our theories as we keep going. And hopefully I will have once I start reading Throne of Glass, we'll have a maybe I'll figure out some more things. But
I think we need a mini series episode, if we don't already have it on the books. I think we need one where we combine all of, like, yours and I's, after all of these that we've read from a bunch of fans prior to the next books coming out. We do our, like, final theory guesses and see how many we get right, or if none of them are right at all, because I think that would be fun. Like a rapid fire, what did we get right and what did we just, like, completely never even happened?
Oh, I think that would be super fun, because I mean, we have had so many insane theories. We've had Tamlin be the father of many people, so I want to see if any of that does come to fruition. He's been
Tamlin's seed has gotten around.
He's been Nesta's father. He's been Gwen's father. He's been now we have him that he could be Rune Danon's father.
Yes.
He's just he gets around.
Yes.
I don't know. But now this is episode 9, where we face the darkness of the Court of Nightmares and stared straight into the depths of hell. If this theory spiral doesn't have you rethinking everything you know about Prythian, we don't know what will.
Tag us at 2girls1tbr and drop your hell or night court theories. Do you think the Hewn City is a fragment of hell, or are Rhysand's ancestors literally infernal royalty? Let's get messy in the comments.
Now, follow and subscribe to us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube. We're on all the platforms. Also Audible, that's another one. Apple Podcasts is our number one, by the way. That's where most people listen to us. Awesome. And leave us a review. We, if you love diving into the darkness as much as we do, because that really does help us. If you leave reviews, it does help us move us up the chart.
Next time, we are going to dive deeper into the monsters, death gods, and myths that connect to the entire Maasverse. So keep your books dark, your theories darker, and your TBR completely unhinged.
Good night, book babes, and may the Hewn City secrets never sleep. Good night, everyone.
Good night.